welcome to an exciting new Hello and welcome to what would hopefully be an exciting new episode into the delving to the depths of the dungeon for culinary delights. And whatever may actually come out of all of that. I'm expecting a lot of distress at the hands of a certain elf. But maybe some interesting new recipes for us to share. Considering that metal is not exactly edible, the last episode really did kind of push the boundaries of what was considered a delicacy. So, if we're using fire traps as a cooking oil, living armors as a certain kind of seafood, what other cuisines will be experienced today? One way to find out is by watching more, so make sure you've got a drink and an iron stomach, so we can see more Dungeon Meshi. Well, every Monday is going to be a fun experience from here on in, knowing that it's going to make me slightly hungry. Well, good thing that I've actually got, I can have lunch before recording. Might offset it slightly. I do wonder when all of these other characters are going to become widely utilized in the story. I know I think we saw like the female dwarf type in their first band when they were facing the dragon and it all went wrong. Oh, and the samurai guy, I believe. But what about the others? There's so many like good world building questions and whatnot I have about this dungeon and how it kind of sustains itself. Is it some weird magic that keeps it all from collapsing, and how is it structured, etc.? Is this the once aforementioned Golden Castle where the walls have now been picked clean? As we were told with like the gold gathering expeditions before. Yo. I mean, this one has a kind of a wet slapping sound. It is a useful ability to be able to discern various noises, especially when you're not sure what might be around the corner. Usually golems are, clay or stone, not mostly out of mud and dirt. Dirt isn't edible! Come on now! Don't be silly. If it's not immediately... Interesting, is there something in with, like, the core? Or... I mean, he's been here for a while. We were told that he was down in the dungeon for quite some time. Dirt. He's going some sort of... Oh no, that doesn't make sense. I was going to say weird fertilizer, but... Yeah, not much you can really get from them. He has a certain level of respect. Growing mushrooms, maybe? Ah. Okay. I like his little straw hat. And if he's made a little den, so to speak, here, then how often has he tried to make a vegetable garden or herb allotment? Despite complaining about the food quality and the ingredients not being great around here. Understandable now. I did question why he chose the base on such a level. I'm guessing, though, it is immediately hostile. Oh, there's multiple. All of this for a carrot or two. Okay. Remove the core and they become immobile lumps of dirt. I'm guessing because he's been farming them already. I mean, cabbage is, or lettuce is kind of obvious to see, but no, hold it together. Got many root vegetables growing there. I mean, surely, even if it is off the back of a golem, she can't be upset about this. Okay, good. A good cycle. I mean, good plant food. I'm more curious as to what he's using as fertilizer, but I'm not exactly sure I want to know the answer. I mean, he's had his base here, but there's also decaying corpses and stuff. Not sure that's good plant food, though. Mm-hmm. Good plant rotation. A hard day's labor. Just letting her... Putting the core back in. Yeah, just letting her wander alone. Even if it is to go to the toilet. I was wondering how the plants actually survive and whatnot if they're wandering around and leaning against walls and whatnot. If it's not instant, it makes sense. This is his hobby, after all. Cooking is a passion, but to gather the ingredients and whatnot, that's an art form. A lot of practice has went into it. Some rather roughly chopped vegetables. She isn't... Faster doesn't necessarily mean better, though. So what if there is a case where they can't use magic, it'd be good to know that there is a backup. They're running low on some quality ingredients and the like, but seems fairly simple but hearty. I mean, finally, a dish that she's not gonna whine about. Walking gardens, but gardens. What's the other 1%? Some things are best not explored, I guess. What? No, they're properly furnished. Huh. Actually looking after the facilities around here. Some diligent people. I mean, how do you think all of this soil gets nourishment? I mean, the vegetables were properly cleaned. It's something that's been used for as long as we've been farming, really. Huh. He's seeing it as like a sense of duty. And down the years, there will be less and less. The entire ecology of the dungeon will be out of whack. Do you think that he's speaking in such proper terms while hauling shoulders of shit? It's a big circle, and the fact it's got this calming tone to this scene as well. No wonder he's called this place his home and has somewhat kindred spirits with him. So as long as they're not kept away for extended amounts of time. Waddling off with the sound of sloshing after that quite good speech. Go to the market. I mean, with various... Huh. I mean, it would seem like it's... I see they haven't heard of an honesty box. Not good at reading signs, apparently. It was grown with care and whatnot. Don't just throw it away. I mean, as I was going to say, there's plenty of adventurers who'd probably be sick of hardtack and dried meats and whatnot, so I'm sure they'd be willing to trade for a thing or two. Okay, Slim Cognito. So they spend their lives here, where the laws are a little more lax. Someone like they aren't exactly out to look for them. If that's not patently obvious. So they're selling, not buying. Is he really the one that should be handling negotiation? He has just created an enemy. That was a not so kind sound. A raid? What about the ones with vegetables? Just good tactic. Hide under the tables. Hope they don't see you. Is it reaching for the vegetables? Ah, I see. Of course he would have friends in dank places. Maybe he should have offered accepted the market offer. That's some information that might be useful to them. What would have made it leave its habitat? A venture a bit wider berth. Does he? Oh, he did say it was near the settlement. Yeah. So they're not exactly keeping the best of ingredients there. Is this a willing exchange? Well, then it would make future trade a little difficult. Well, the original plan was to let it, go without having the food go to waste, so it's not exactly horrible. At least it's being used. Who's he to make these? Learn how to grade ingredients properly, goddammit. If he hasn't got an eye for it, don't throw things away. Is he just... He's thinking of bread, isn't he? He's just thinking of the next meal. Not their safety or a way out of this or anything. No, just some nice warm bread. How barbaric. Now we're seeing the other side of it. We were told that they were chased away and had to find a life down here. Wow, he is frenzied at the idea of bread. Looks like they agree to it, though. But yeah, the differences with orcs and other races and whatnot. Oh, how barbaric the elves look. I didn't think we'd get a lesson of bread and discrimination. Give and take, there was no definitive good in any of it. Good save, though, Senshi. Get to be quiet for a second. They always had a life on the... He's not even listening. He's making sure the dough is proper. Yeah, is this the time for historic differences and raised voices? Shut the hell up! Get back to the dough. Good to see that he's helping out, making good friends. Are we just making normal bread? It doesn't seem to be flatbeds, breads and the like, so... Is it going to be... They don't have an oven or anything, so maybe in the wok? I see. That's a very thin stuff. This isn't about power or anything. It's rescuing a sibling. And also good food, apparently. And don't care who it affects. The instant vilification of everyone and everyone because of historic injustices and the like. Yeah. At least they're firm friends now. Don't... Okay, what is that? It's not for catcher, it's... Can't remember. Does actually look quite good. To be fair, I made some bread yesterday. Or was it the day before? Either way, freshly baked bread is... Not only the smell is quite nice, but quite rewarding. Is this going to be the bridge between the races? The hope for the future for them all? You don't want to lose nutrition down here. What kind of weird morals are you teaching them? And now we obviously can't look bad in front of the kid. How sneaky of those overground races. Okay. I do like the kind of tear and share bread that they made. I mean, you've got no reason to complain. It's actually cooked food with nice ingredients in it. It is amazing how many different cuisines and whatnot we've managed to create from the same ingredients and how they've sprung up across the world. I've actually been watching videos recently on like the origins of certain foods. And then they can go back to their settlement. But are they willing to just take his word for it? I mean, they've literally broken bread together. How can you ignore that kind of promise? Looks like you've got more trading partners than just Senshi now. He's not praying for his immediate downfall, so I guess all's well that ends well. What kind of weird teachings are you trying to place into that child's mind? Get it thinking about cultivating the dungeon early. Food is food. I do like that, there was a bit about the dungeon and its world building, talking about the sorcerer at the bottom, you become the new leader, etc., etc., but this was a little bit of just turning monster tropes on his head and what can you use golems for? Oh yes, mobile farm plots. And the unanswered questions around. If you've got these dungeons, you have adventurers that are in need to relieve themselves. So what happens with all that waste? And in that question about, like, skeletons and zombies, apart from just deceased adventurers, how are they formed? If there's an over-influx of adventurers travelling down here and start wiping out the floor life or unlife, does the dungeon itself recreate them after a time? Considering he essentially was saying there was 10 golems down to 3, maybe not. Maybe the floors are just that vast where it's unlikely to be completely eradicated. I really do like this show because it's so much more than just a fun dungeon romp, so much more than just a fun adventure food spectacle. It's elevating it beyond, giving us insight onto the monsters and their ecology and how it all fits into the world while using thinly veiled analogies to our lives and how we understand things, and disparities between certain groups. And how everything is one big melting pot of ideas, and how it all runs together and functions. Many gears really make everything turn, whether it be just a small dwarf carrying shit buckets. But with that in mind, what about the other floors? Does essentially go traipsing around those, collecting bits and pieces? Or is it only this one because it's the most labyrinthian standard dungeon fare? Also, even if the golems are a good source of nutrition for the food, for the plants, for the seeds, where did the seeds come from? Are they dungeon native? Were they brought down from the surface? And by what light are they growing? Magical dungeon light? Just magic dancing lights like we saw above the party as they're walking through? Or are they just accustomed to the dark? I guess only time will actually tell. I've said that line so many times. About what we actually see in the future, how much Senshi has prepared for us. Seeing that he's got a little hovel, a little home away from home here, knowing that he's been down here for far longer than really should be even plausible. What else has he learned? Whatever skills has he learned? Whatever places has he got in place to help out further down the line? And how deep into the dungeon has he actually explored? Is there going to be bits that he has no idea about? There's no insight he can give? But it does look like that we're facing off against a red dragon, or try to catch up to its trail sometime soon. The remnants of whatever orc settlement there once was as well. After 4 episodes of kind of slow exploration life, seemingly just going to ramp up quite quickly. I'm here for it. And hopefully you have enjoyed any step of the way. If I've entertained you, let me know though. You can do so by leaving a like down below, maybe a comment or 2 on the video. But if you really want to help me out, consider subscribing so that you don't miss out future videos. But it also gives me a sense of pride of what I'm doing. If you want to go a step further, there's a link to my Discord down below, where you can join in any sorts of conversations and memes and votes for future polls and shows, and just to get me off my ass, really. But really, try and take care of yourselves. I myself have actually started gardening as I've reached that age, so I start to have a bit of kindred spirits with Senshi at the minute, although I don't shovel ladles of my own shit straight onto the soil. That's a step too far. But until the next one, try and take care of yourselves, get some rest, and I'll see you there. I want to extend my thanks out to my patrons who have ladled on a bunch of fertilizer to help my channel grow, and come out smelling like roses on the other side, somehow. So I do need to thank Sal, AegisTR, Darky26, Guado, Kite, Reds Racer, Ultra Pouring, Wolfie Sensei, Zug, and everyone else. For if it wasn't for all of you, it'd be a lot less anime. This adventure would be a lot shorter.